to Comedy Quarantine. Look at all those pretty faces. We got Jermaine Funnymaine Johnson, we got Roy Wood Jr., and we got Terry Thomas. Welcome, guys, to the first episode of Comedy Quarantine. I'm Eunice Elliott, your hostess. Thank y'all for doing this with us.
How you doing, Eunice? How's everything going?
Everything's good. You know, I left my job last week as a news anchor to go be a stand-up comedian and travel the world.
Oh, man. Oh, did you tell your family?
Oh,
yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
So I'm so sorry to hear that.
Off. I didn't realize a pandemic was coming up on my last week, but we are going to make the best of it tonight. There is a donate, Venmo, and PayPal because we're doing this tonight to try to raise money for the wait staff at the Stardome. And we all know how you can be as funny as you want to be. If people have a bad time with the service or the food or the drinks, they don't come back. And so they don't have that problem at the Stardome.
Yeah, and you know, everybody that's dealing with the ripple effects of COVID-19, and you know, a lot of people are getting pushed out of jobs. And we don't know. Trump just came on TV today and said we got to sit it down to at least the end of April.
Yeah.
At least to the end of it. Oh yeah, ain't no more Easter no more. It's the end of April.
Did you see the other news where they said we might have to be locked down till June?
Yo, I bet you there's a lot of dudes.
Wait. Are y'all trying to out-virus each other?
I heard it's not gonna be about fall. It's gonna be the fall.
Right.
If you
let me just say, I feel like when people say COVID-19 instead of coronavirus, they being extra. So let's just call it corona, all right?
Well, why you don't like COVID-19? That's the medical term. That's the medical term.
Roy does have a 4-year degree. Why can't he say COVID?
You know?
Yeah, it's COVID.
COVID.
Jermaine, you hating on that. But listen, we're going to be getting comments from folks, so we want you to send comments. We're going to do our best to respond to all the comments tonight. Don't forget to donate, give whatever you can, because we know we are all in the struggle, but we really appreciate it. So, Funnymaine, I was going to ask you, you kind of made a living from sitting on your couch anyway. So what's the big deal with you?
Oh, this is awesome. Like, this is where I'm at. This is the setup. I watch a lot of football and make videos from the couch. So yeah, I'm right at home. I just can't go nowhere.
And Roy, you still working, right? Your day job.
Yeah, Daily Show, we still making the show from the house, man. Trevor got the iPhone and all that set up. I got an iPhone, and when the show said, hey, go shoot this sketch real quick in your crib, hey, you gotta do it. Still
and how's that been going?
Keep the lights on. It's been going good so far. We only did it live last week, and this week we're doing it again.
And Terry Thomas.
Yes.
Up there in New York. You're a Bama guy, but you're living in New York now. How's that going for you? New York is like the epicenter of all the bad things in the world.
Yeah, it is. But if you go outside, people are still in high spirits. You know, it's a lot more safer. I don't see condoms on the ground no more, just gloves. So it's a lot better. So, you know, still the same people, but you know, they're protecting themselves in other ways.
Right. We've all had to get real creative. And even though we realize how serious this is, we just wanted to try to bring some laughter. Laughter is always the best medicine. So that's our goal here tonight. I'm so excited to see y'all. We've all known each other for several and many years.
A lot of
years. I want to say Roy Wood Jr. came with me. He probably doesn't even remember this. You were living in Los Angeles at the time, and you came with me to my first open mic, and I didn't even get on stage, and you still bought me Waffle House.
I don't remember that.
I know you don't. But you are like a comics comic. You know, like people always think of you fondly because you always support comedians. Do you remember your first, like your open mic days back at the Stardome?
Yeah, I at the time when I did stand up, I was doing it. I was still in school in Tallahassee at FAMU, and so I ended up not telling my mom. My mom didn't know I was doing comedy, so I had to sneak into Birmingham, and I would take the Greyhound into downtown, and then I would take the Max all the way out to Hoover to tell them damn jokes, and then I would trick a comic into taking me back downtown to drop me off at the bus station so I could be back in time for my Monday morning classes.
You was real serious about that.
Yeah, but you know, back in the day, like open mic was like once a month at the Stardome,
right?
Like back in the day, and I'm going way back. I'm talking like 1998, and like I would step in there and I would lie. Like even when I moved back to Birmingham, I lied, said I was coming from out of town because that's how you get a slot. When you say you don't live here, they be like, "Ooh, he from."
Yeah, people feel like you put forth some effort. Yeah. Well, everybody already knew you. Your name is famous in Birmingham. What you talking about?
They knew my daddy. They didn't know me. Not
Same
98. I mean, maybe now I might be neck and neck with my pops, but I mean, back in 98, no, man, my pops' name still rang out. So,
And
yeah,
after you
open
did all
mic
that
was
work to
fun.
get back to town, were those successful open mics?
Yeah, I would say my one Stardome memory that stands out. I don't know if Bruce Ayers is watching this, but y'all know I lied. Funnymaine know this story about me lying to get on 95.7 back in the day.
Absolutely, I know.
So at the time, Ricky Smiley had just left, and 95.7 was looking for a new comic. They were like, "Oh, we need a new comedian." And they were auditioning people. I go to 95.7. I holler at Buck Wild in Africa, and I go, "Yo, y'all need a comedian? I got a college degree in journalism." They said, "Get the fuck out of our face." I said, "Okay." So then I go to Bruce Ayers and I go, "Yo, man, I think it's time. I've been doing open mic. Can I work the main stage?" He's like, "Well, we'll see. We don't know." I go, "Okay, cool." So D.L. Hughley was coming to town that weekend, and I knew when the Stardome has a black headliner, at least in those days, 95.7 sponsored the weekend. So I go to Buck Wild in Africa. I go, "Yo, I'm hosting for D.L. Hughley. If you think I'm funny, let me come in on Monday morning and be an intern." They go, "Cool." So then I go back to the Stardome and I tell Bruce and the Booker Dina, I said, "Hey, I just got hired at 95.7. So y'all should go ahead and let me perform in front of D.L. Hughley." And on Friday night, I kept both of them motherfuckers away from each other. Bruce never saw Buck Wild. Buck Wild never saw Bruce. I got on stage, ripped that shit, and Buck was standing on the side of the stage. He said, "See you Monday morning."
Look at that. The rest is history. So what do we learn from this kid?
Lie,
your way.
Lie.
And just lie your way to the top. It worked out for you. You on Comedy Central every day.
Well, I ended up on 95.7. It took me about 2 more years to get paid from him, though, but that's a separate conversation. We're here to raise money for the Stardome wait staff. We are not here.
Well, Roy, when you did get your show on 95.7, you hired me to write for it, and that was the first time I ever got paid to do comedy.
Well,
So again, you don't even know how deep you and me go back. They ain't memories for you. They memories for me.
It was like I was trying to integrate as many comics as I could on the local scene, in the mix. I don't think you did anything with us. I think Funnymaine here and there for sure, but I know Martin Morrow and I know Eunice and the homie Trey Williamson.
Yeah.
For sure. I always, contribute.
Now listen, when you talking to Terry, we used to call him Terry T back in the day. We call him Terry Thomas now. Please don't call him Terry. He didn't move to New York. He's Terry Thomas now.
Former retired UAB football great Terry Thomas Jr. of New York.
Terry, why did they
don't forget Belsman. Don't forget Belsman.
Oh yeah, Belsman in the house as well. But I mean, when we start promoting this show, we put Terry T on there, and you sent me a little message saying, "Pardon me, I'm Terry Thomas now." And I said, "Oh, I didn't know." So
I have legit reasons why I did that. I was Terry T when I first started out. I had a real day job where I was working at a tile loan company, and I didn't want the company knowing that I was doing dirty jokes talking about my grandmother and my family. So I was like, "Yo, let me use an alias like a rapper." So I decided to go by Terry T. Unbeknownst to me, there's a lot of Terry T's in the world. There's a Comic View comic named Terry T. Harris that I get confused with a lot. But the biggest problem I had was this comic out of Zimbabwe named Terry T. If you go on YouTube and type in Terry T, he will pop up first. He has 100,000 views, and he does a bit about black churches in Zimbabwe that crushes. and then I started getting messages on Facebook from people from Zimbabwe trying to get me to do their weddings. The first time I got it, I thought I finally blew up. I was like, maybe my demographic is not in the United States.
Looking for you in Africa now.
Maybe I'm big in Africa. Maybe it's condom forever for me. So
wrong.
So I found out the lady was like, "You the wrong one." Called me an imposter and blocked me on Facebook. So then I decided to go with Terry Thomas. And then when I started doing shows, people started Googling me. And a lot of people don't know this. There's a British white guy named Terry Thomas who's a comic. So then I had to start going by Terry Thomas Jr. I'm thinking about going Terry Thomas Jr. Esquire.
You just need to go by a hot dog or some stage name or something.
It's hot dog.
You lost Funnymaine on the history of Terry Thomas. But Funnymaine was telling me about some of his historical finds not just about his name, but his actual family, like your great grandfather.
My granddad's granddad.
Okay, is who?
Yeah, he was a Confederate Army soldier. No, let me. He was a sergeant. I don't want to downplay him. Now, if he gonna be racist, he gonna be ranked properly.
He was at the top.
So, yeah, he was up there. This my maternal granddad, his granddad. So yeah, he's Samuel Ruffin, Choctaw County. That's Butler, Alabama. He was the largest slave owner in Alabama.
He really is bragging on this racist great granddad.
Hold on. So your great.
I'm not.
Like he had the most slaves of anybody.
Your 3-time granddaddy was a slave owner who also fought for the Confederacy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know I'm real conflicted about it. It's like, when everybody get their reparation checks, I don't know if I gotta sign it or cash it. I don't know what side I'm gonna be on. Sometimes you ride to Montgomery, they got that Confederate flag waving over the highway. I'd be like, I don't know. I don't
know how you should feel. I got a feeling you're gonna cash any reparations checks and walk your.
I'm going to the meeting though. The next meeting, I'm there.
Which meeting you going to? Which side you going?
One of them. Okay, y'all got to realize I'm the first person in my family to go to Coleman, so I have to hold it down.
Oh, man.
Listen, you got a lot of fans in Coleman, Alabama, possibly. You built this whole new fan base from sitting on your couch watching Alabama football. I've done shows with you from back in the day, and since all these new people have discovered you, and your audience is real different. Like real different.
Well, not really.
Well, they look different than they used to look. They love you, and a lot of them love Trump. How do you deal with that?
They're good people. Once we take the politics out of it, where we're probably gonna disagree, they understand. I can say out of all, I've been doing shows for 4 years. They're the nicest people. They just want to take care of their families. They've never worn that red hat to my shows because we got to understand it. There was no rule about it, no anything. I don't throw stuff in their face. They don't throw stuff in my face. They spend money. That's where we.
It's just
we
about
get along.
That money back to the people, dog.
But I understand. See, y'all don't understand a Trump rally. I could go to a Trump rally, a NASCAR. I could have a ball. Because I know these people, they really like to turn up, bro. But you got to meet them and hang out with them and not just think all Trump.
Just never bring up politics.
Just never. It's probably a good idea for friends and family and neighbors, too. Listen, I love me some NASCAR now. I go down to Dago, baby. And once you do drive past all the Confederate flags on your way in, I've only had the nicest experiences.
Eunice, you've been to Dago. So you actually went to
Yeah, I go to the spring
and fall races. Never.
I go to the spring and the fall races. Ask anybody at Dago. They know me.
So you call it Dago, like you.
No, I actually call it Dago, baby.
No, nigga, I've been to Talladega College.
No,
I've been to that.
I fell in love with NASCAR because as a news anchor, we had tickets and we were sponsors, and I went and I absolutely loved it. And
you just like drinking and noise. That ain't got nothing to do with no damn car.
You can bring your own
going around no track.
Listen, it's great. It's better than watching traffic. I promise you. I will take y'all with me next time if we ever allow.
NASCAR is literally traffic.
No, it's hella fun, bro.
It really is exciting. It really is exciting. And I'm not saying that to try to be on Jermaine,
I don't want to go somewhere and have to be the black trinket. No, I don't want to be.
No, I won't say a lot of black people, but you won't be the only one. But I will say, by you standing out, they want to make sure you're comfortable. So all you got to do is look a little bit lost, and you're gonna have somebody with a very redneck say, "Come sit by me."
Well, the thing about it, when I go, if people give me issues or they snaring, I just pull rank and let them know who my great granddaddy is.
You know what?
Y'all think when y'all go there, they got like a bingo card of stuff they got to get done, and a black person's on that bingo card? It was just
you talking about like get out so they go snatch our soul?
I just wish that people would stop acting like all racism has one single uniform.
Right.
I don't think, like I've done shows for audiences where you could say that, oh yeah, these people are liberal, but I guarantee you there's a lot of quiet, silent racism around here. And I'd say 6 times out of 10, as an entertainer, you performing for somebody who don't agree with you.
Right, but you can still make them laugh. That's all that really matters in that exact moment. And just don't discuss politics. Now, the one thing that everybody seems to be on the same page about right now is this stimulus package, $2 trillion bill signed. I mean, what do y'all feel about this stimulus
Who on the
package?
same page?
You don't want your check?
I mean,
Where would we get all this money from?
That check ain't shit. That check is, oh, please re-elect me come October. Pretty please look at that money I gave you. That
I'm
check
cash it and then vote how my heart leads me.
Look, we can talk all that something better than nothing stuff. That's fine. But you know, deep down, folks that's hurting, folks that's really struggling. Come on, coach, 1,200 ain't enough. And I know you got it because you're giving it to the airline companies. You're going to give it to the cruise ship companies. You're going to give it to all these other big corporations who need a bailout, but you ain't going to give it to the regular folks. See, that's why I end up talking politics on
I was
stage.
going to say, I thought we just said we
weren't
weren't talking politics.
we're here now. Let's talk about it. Go ahead,
You
Roy.
asked.
You think it should be different kinds of stimulus packages?
No, I'm saying like Roy's saying $1,200 ain't enough. Like they got to add something else to it. Like they ain't got money. Well, at least let me get a Airbnb room at the White House, or at least let me get a season pass to Area 51. Let me get something else plus the 1,200. Just don't give me 1,200 and think I'm gonna be happy. I need something else added on to it. Uber me.
So
Uber me from Air Force One.
Your president is trying to help you out with that $1,200, and you need a room at the White House to make it count. Oh,
Yeah,
they can't never do nothing for y'all. And that's why they can't never do nothing for y'all, you people.
Yeah, oh, there you go. That's that time they're coming at you.
I respect
And that they're coming out.
People.
I respect
people.
Okay,
on
so
my dad's side, I resent that.
Okay, whether we're talking about politics and the seriousness of COVID-19 or coronavirus, whatever, let's talk about something really important. And everybody has been talking about it. And we could not have this tonight with all of us knowing what's going on in the world and not talk about it. So let's put it out there. Tiger King.
Oh, Tiger King, Netflix deserves an Oscar, an Emmy, a Golden Globe. That's been the most entertaining thing I've seen in 2020. I want somebody.
I'm definitely King Joe. Like Carol, she can get up out of here, but free my guy Joe, man. Free Joe. He innocent, bro.
I'm not saying free Joe. I'm saying people should be in jail with Joe. I ain't saying Joe should be out, but everybody else should be in.
For the people who ain't seen it yet, Tiger King is a documentary about this dude that owned a bunch of tigers, mistreated a bunch of them, and started acting crazy to all his ex-co-workers and boyfriends and husbands and all that shit, and murder for hire and all this dirt. Everybody abused animals in that thing. And I'm trying to understand how, because Joe is charismatic, people love him, but Michael Vick ain't nobody ever going to forgive. Not never. But people trying to free Joe.
Vic played ball again.
Vic, but I'm saying the public outcry. If there was a Vic 30 for 30 on ESPN 3 weeks ago, and people was going, why is he getting a documentary? Can you believe? Now, granted, the way that Vic killed animals, you could argue more abusive and more like worse per se. But because Joe had cuddly cougars and nice little cuddly tigers, and he was nice to them at first before he mistreated them. Somehow they grade him on the curve. You know what, man? Maybe I need to drink some whiskey.
I was gonna say, bro, you seem a little tightly wound this evening for you to have been at home all day. And I will say you're the only one at home with a 3-year-old. I don't know if that has anything to do with it.
It has everything to do with it.
But can we all agree that Carol fed her first husband to them cats? We all can agree on that, right?
We all agree on that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I need more proof. I'm team.
I don't.
We don't know. The other husband, he's still alive. I mean, she could have went 2 for 2 unless he's scared or something.
I was gonna say he don't look like he all there.
Yeah, you can't kill one husband with a tiger and then not
and not kill all of them.
You gotta kill all of them. She got
tiger full. He ate a whole human. He full for a long time. He's not gonna eat another.
Listen, Terry trying to say because he knows she might be the next. He might be the next husband. He knows she gonna have a next one. Go on, Terry. I ain't mad at you. I ain't gonna block your blessing. Carol might not have been.
I'm trying to get me a cub. And let's all agree. Did anybody else know that cubs were that cheap? I did not know that if I got a refund check, I could have got me a cub last year.
That's what they want us to do with that check. They want us to buy tiger cubs. We need to.
What I didn't know is that you can have somebody murdered for $5,000. That ain't nothing but a couple credit hours at the college.
And that's what y'all took from this. Okay.
Yeah. Also, I didn't know
half the job, honestly.
I thought it was counterproductive feeding all them tigers with Walmart meat, old expired meat, because later on you're gonna have to give them high blood pressure medicine. The employees too. Like it didn't make no sense feeding that.
Listen, I didn't ate expired meat. It really don't be expired. It's just suggested by. The problem I had was they was getting it out
Y'all
of the
crazy.
garbage can. That was the problem I
Y'all
had.
crazy.
It was the visual of where they got the expired meat from.
Then it's free meat, Terry. Ain't tigers and lions from Africa originally?
You could have worked out the deal. You in Oklahoma. They still kill people. They still execute it. Like after they execute it, you be like, hey, what you gonna do with that body? Because you know I got a couple of tigers that need to eat.
Well, ain't nobody marching for all the poor horses who ain't got legs that they was dragging along to feed the tigers. Where all them legless horses at?
Oh.
Ain't nobody say nothing about all that horse meat.
I hope Peter ain't watching this thing right now.
No, I'm pretty sure Peter ain't watching. So Roy, I mentioned your 3-year-old. I think that might be part of your challenge right now, and you kind of seem a little tight. You've been, I'm sorry, your coworker.
I want to let him like it's like I run a risk if I bring a babysitter in the house, and then I run a risk if I take him to a babysitter, and then he bring that Rona back up in here. So I just got to suck it up and just deal with it. Like being a parent is so stressful. I feel like there should be a post-game interview at the end of the day for parents who have to deal with toddlers. That's why I made this little video with him the other day.
Oh, you got something. Okay, let's see.
Are you good, Daddy?
I mean, you know, we're in unprecedented times right now, and I really think that fatherhood is a moving target. And I don't think it's fair to say that you could be a good dad or a bad dad when the truth of the matter is that, you know, fatherhood, the best you can be is trying to be a good father every day. This quarantine is stressing everybody. You know, you're spending more time around your kids. I'm lucky because all I got is a 3-year-old. If he was 14, 15, I'd have to fight him every day. But I got a 3-year-old. You just give him chocolate milk and graham crackers, and you're pretty much in the game for most of the day. So we'll just look at the tape and see what we can do tomorrow to be a better parent.
Okay. So now, so what's your favorite color?
My favorite color.
I'm already loving the look of it for sure. We can play that one back from the beginning.
Kid, man. Smart kid.
How old is he?
He's 3, man. He's 3. He'll be 4 in a couple months.
Yeah, he stole your whole face too, bro. Y'all look scary, eerily alike. That's amazing.
Steve, are you able to play that video from the beginning?
It's fine if you can't. Don't worry about it. It's up on all the
Listen,
channels.
we the guinea pigs for the first comedy quarantine, so we get it right tonight.
Are you good, Daddy?
I mean, you know, we're in unprecedented times right now, and I really think that fatherhood is a moving target. I don't think it's fair to say that you could be a good dad or a bad dad when the truth of the matter is that, you know, fatherhood, the best you can be is trying to be a good father every day. This quarantine is stressing everybody. You know, you're spending more time around your kids. I'm lucky because all I got is a 3-year-old. If he was 14, 15, I'd have to fight him every day. But I got a 3-year-old. You just give him chocolate milk and graham crackers, and you're pretty much in the game for most of the day. So we'll just look at the tape and see what we can do tomorrow to be a better parent.
Okay. So now, so what's your favorite color?
My favorite color.
Comedians and knives. I saw another comedian admitting that he binge watched This Is Us, but then in the next breath he started showing off his knife collection, I guess, to get his street cred back. Have y'all been binging any shows?
I like Dave on FX. That was pretty good.
Oh yeah, that's a good show.
Haven't seen that one yet. Terry Thomas.
I've been watching 60 Days In. I started from season 1, and now I'm working myself up to season 6.
Is that the show where the people go to jail for no fucking reason?
Yeah. They get normal citizens, like everyday teachers, massage therapists, optometrists. They just go to jail for 60 days, and they really live a jail life. And the thing is, if you mess up in jail, like take drugs or fight somebody, you actually have to stay in jail for another 30 days.
Who the fuck? Why is this a show?
I don't know.
Why are you watching it?
Why did they go? What are they trying to? Here's the question.
Okay.
What are they trying to learn on this journey?
Well, each one of them is usually either like a young white woman or something like that. They want it. They always take a feeling like, hey, they have it too easy in jail. They get 3 meals in the cot. My husband's in the military. He doesn't get all this. It seems like they live in a life in jail. So, and they feel like it's so. They feel like it's easy, and they feel like, oh, I can hang. And then once they get in there, and somebody like this, oh yeah, I like you, fresh booty. And then that's when they be like, yo, I can't do this.
Oh,
and they end up leaving.
Oh, now they don't want to play.
Now they don't want to play.
Okay.
You know how good your life gotta be. You know how good your life gotta be when you can go to jail as a ruse.
As an experiment.
This shit is boring out here. This white shit ain't working for me. They go to jail.
Yeah. I'm thinking about doing something where I just send white people on the scariest shit, like, you know, like Universal, but I just take them through like Detroit or Cleveland and shit, and just have people shoot at them.
But what else can you do? They already got a show called Naked and Afraid. I still haven't seen a black person on that one. That's the one where white people show up butt naked in the wilderness and try to survive 21 days with a stranger. It's basically it's a blind date combined with survival training.
Wait, where'd you get a blind date from with the nakedness?
There was 2 people. It's a man.
I'm sorry. Y'all show up for blind dates naked? I'm sorry. Wait, what?
Gotta set the tone. Set the tone.
Yeah, no. I was gonna ask. I don't know all of y'all's date status. I will say, as the woman on the in the box, it's very interesting how many men have gotten corona courage in that inbox, and I guess they think because it's the end of the world they got a shot. Wait, y'all done got quiet.
No, that must be
I want to hear your stuff. Go ahead.
Oh, no. Y'all trying to get some ideas. No, go on. Tell us more. What exactly did they say?
Yeah, this ain't my testimony, so I want to hear your
testimony. It's just people that have never really tried to talk to me before are trying extra hard now. I don't know if they think I'm just bored or, you know, that whole last man on earth theory.
You'll give in.
You think I'll give in? I can promise you I won't.
The way the world is set up right now, there's not a lot of excuses. So they might be on
for why I'm not available.
Right.
Yeah. No, I can say no. I'm busy washing my hands. Check back next year. I have always had. If y'all have been my friends for a while, y'all have heard a lot of my horrible stories of dating. I will not add a COVID-19 chapter. I promise you this, but I do have, hopefully see if you can play this video. I've told this story many, many years. And you guys remember the time I got cussed out about some Doritos at the Magic City Classic?
Absolutely.
Would you like to see an animated reenactment of that fun time?
Yeah, give me that.
Absolutely.
Okay, Steve, let's see that. So me and my boyfriend get invited to a tailgate party. I asked him to stop by the store and pick up a few things because you know how y'all look when somebody shows up empty-handed and then goes to fix a plate. So he brought bread, soda, and plain potato chips. We had a great time. We ate, we drank, and I found my home in a bag of Doritos. Well, as we're leaving the party, he kept looking back and finally made the comment, "Nobody ate what we brought. I don't even have bread at home." To which I responded, "Oh, well, I found my ancestors in somebody's Doritos, so if somebody takes home those chips, it's all equal." To which he responded, "Doritos ain't chips." What? Yeah, they are. They're tortilla chips. It says it on the bag. No, when someone says chips, they mean plain potato chips. No, when somebody says chips, they mean get some off the chip aisle. He then proceeds to curse me out in front of everyone and stumps off down the street, never to be seen again. And I'm standing there thinking, are we talking about chips? I quickly realized this was the end of yet another relationship, another story I would have to tell. But truly, I was just praying, please don't let him go back and get that bread. True. That's an animated reenactment. I actually host an entire podcast called Oh No, Girl Yes, which is short for Oh No, He Didn't. Girl Yes, He Did. Funnymaine has been a guest.
Right.
I'm on season 2.
My thing is, out of all the things to get cussed out at the classic, that's a new one.
Yeah, I should get a prize for it. I should get some kind of honorable mention or something. But I have a whole podcast where I talk about how horrible all the dating is and has been. And I also talk about self-awareness, things I learn and grow from. I've had Funnymaine as a guest. That went okay.
Have you talked to this person again since this?
Well, if you must know, I have never had a conversation, but that person did reach out to me. Um,
For
that
legal
minute
reasons?
long reenactment is the short version of the story. I will go on into detail. He returned my phones to me because he didn't have a phone, so I was letting him use a phone. And I think he used his mom's computer to send me a message to say that I was the problem, not him. I had the red flags, not him. And I just said, okay. That's what I wrote back, okay. And then he said, two fingers to the sky like a player. That's what he wrote.
I just gotta ask, just a first name, because I'm thinking Clarence. I just need a first
I
name.
don't
No,
know.
his
That's
name
something
ain't
with
Clarence.
it's some with an accent in that first name.
Why does it
Jakeith
matter
or
what
some
his
shit.
name is?
It's
What are you-
Jakeith.
Come on,
Y'all missed
just
the whole
put a
point of the
name with the
story.
face.
His name does not matter. And no, I never saw him again. I never actually talked to him again. I told him, okay, fine, because he was telling me I had some stuff in his place. I was
Eunice,
like,
Eunice, we got questions. As men, we have questions for you.
have your questions.
Okay.
I'm not afraid.
How did a nigga with no phone manage to get a phone from you?
Thank you.
I think y'all losing the focus of
Thank
the
you.
story. Y'all losing the focus on this story, I think. Let's stay focused.
You know what? I'm kind of proud of these men jumping in your DMs because the bar is set kind of low for you. And dude, like,
Now,
just,
this
yo,
story, this happened years ago. This was years ago.
I ain't gonna have no phone. And I can cuss out by chip shit. And I can call her back later. I got a chance.
So Eunice, how
Many years ago. Let me tell you, I suffered from this.
Now, how early do you bring up chips in the the date?
I just let them come up naturally and see how we go. I don't ever bring up chips because it might be somebody that I see a future with, and then he says something wrong about chips, and then where we go.
This is what
Listen,
you
you
do.
gotta let this chip shit go. Y'all just got to agree on saying snacks. All right.
It's on the chip aisle. It's a chip. It could be popcorn. It's a chip.
Hey, Roy, you got a kid, so you have to say snacks. You can't. You probably still.
Grown-ups don't really say snacks, Roy.
Well, you can't name specific foods no more around a child because they know. Like if I say donut, he look up donut, and his mama be looking at me mad. So I just have to say, yeah, I'm going to eat a thing that is in a bag.
Roy, question: are y'all doing that thing where y'all spell around the kid?
We're starting to. We're starting to because this vocabulary is expanding a little bit. So now we gotta I would like like ice cream. You can't say ice cream in the house. Like that's the one where like he key in on it. But we got one of them fridges where the fridge is on the bottom instead of the top. So if we ain't looking, motherfucker be in the fridge and just be looking through the freezer because we got the freezer drawer down low. He just be rummaging like a scavenger hunt. And then he'll go get the spoon. You come back in the living room. This motherfucker got the Haagen-Dazs.
Full spoon.
I wonder where he got such an idea from.
I don't know, but I love him.
Terry, you didn't ask me, but I also spell around my dogs.
What?
They know what the word WALK is, and they go crazy if they hear it. So if I ever have an occasion, if I'm on the phone or something, I do not say that word around them. I spell it.
You spell around
just
your
so you know.
Yes, I spell around my dogs. Yeah.
You know what's gonna happen? Eventually, your dog's gonna start talking. You're gonna be spelling one day, and then they just gonna be like, "Look, you ain't got to do that. We ain't stupid."
How you know they already not? Don't play.
Eunice, we ain't gonna let this shit go. People in the YouTube comments guessing this dude's name. Somebody said Sherman. Shout out to D Good. That sounds like a Sherman ass move.
You know what? Yeah. His name was not Sherman. I dated somebody named
Alan. Alan.
No. Why does it even matter?
Devin. A Devin would do some shit like that.
No. Why does it matter?
Richard.
It was Liz Sherman.
Okay, so look, when you tell a story about a crazy ex-girlfriend, do you sit up there and say, guess her name? No.
No.
Nah.
I'm not gonna say his name.
Nah, most dudes ask like how she looked. That's the question.
We probably shouldn't do that, but what's his name? Prescott.
It was not Prescott. I will tell you the first letter of the name.
All right.
The first letter of the name is a J.
I'll say this when it comes to talking about exes on stage, don't ever say the name because eventually you will regret it. I almost did that back in like 2003. I've only talked about one ex on stage anyway, but I went on Comic View and aired some shit out. And now years later, I regret doing it, but I never said her name. So I feel like I can somehow still respect myself.
But would she know it's her? Is it so specific to her?
Oh yeah. When it aired, I called her and told her to watch it.
Oh.
So she could see it.
Okay.
which
Okay.
probably
I dropped the name in a podcast interview one time. I can't wait for that footage to resurface so I can lie about it.
Hey, you guys, don't forget you can donate. That's why we're doing this, to raise money for the wait staff. I see some people are asking how to donate: Venmo, PayPal. There is a link right there on the screen for
Jimmy,
you.
Raymond, Herman, Jared, Johnny, any of these names. YouTube going off. Let me get over to Facebook.
Wait, no. I see that Jimmy right. No, his name was not Earl. No, he was not
Earl.
Light Skin Johnny.
If
No,
it
he's
was
not
name was
Jimmy.
Earl, man.
No, can we move on, please? Can we please move on?
Ain't
I don't
this
think we
from
can move on
Bessemer?
past this. Okay, now to really mess with it, give us the last letter in his name.
You know what? I think the last letter would give it away.
Ooh.
But y'all ain't that bright. I give it to you.
But we really want it now.
If it's a B, it got to be Jacob or something like that. So
No, it's an H.
Hey, Eunice, he ain't watching. He don't have a phone.
This was years ago. The last letter is an H.
H.
Jonah?
Who was that? Y'all not that bright. So.
You said Jonah?
Josh. That's what you said, Josh.
Gerald.
Did you just say, I'm still weak at Jonah? Jonah?
No. Can we move on? So all
If you
of us
gave a free phone to a nigga named Jonah, you deserve that chip. Yeah.
Listen,
Well,
moving on.
If his name was Jonah.
Again, thank y'all for donating. Make sure I'm seeing Jeremiah, Jehovah. No, and no.
Jehovah. It was our Lord and Savior who did that to you.
Y'all so rude and tacky. Anyway, thank y'all for donating. Please donate to the wait staff of the Stardome. Those are our friends who all of us have been obviously impacted. So we're just trying to hang out at home and figure out how we can entertain folks and also raise money while still maintaining our social distancing. Now, we have all considered the Stardome our home club, right? Like
Brian
we
Denton,
grew up a little bit in comedy. I want to hear about, like, do you have a weird story about the Stardome? The first time you headlined at the Stardome? The Stardome for me has the best crowds. It's a beautiful cross section of people, and I feel like people who go to the Stardome know how to receive comedy. Like, you don't have a lot of hecklers and talking during the show, so it's always fun.
Who want to go first? Funnymaine, I know you got some stories.
Look, I won the competition in 2011 in the big room.
Humble brag.
I know. I felt like, but Terry, were we both in that competition with him? I can't remember.
But here's the thing. You know, to get in the competition, you have to win in the small room first, right? So I competed in the small room, but I had something to do that probably wasn't important. I just left. I don't know if I placed or not, but I showed up at the big show and I won. So sorry, Bruce. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I guess that was a humble brag.
9 years later, I just showed up.
I remember my first time on open mic at the Stardome. It was the first time I did comedy at a place that had a health rating. So that was like big for me. There was some health regulations around the food. It was the first time I did comedy at a place that didn't have like lounge or something in the title. And
you was doing them shows in Fairfield at the Phoenix.
Oh, let me tell you, we're getting it in. So my first time doing open mic was very exciting. And I feel like that's the first time I met Terry Thomas. My mama came to that show. And my mom doesn't come to a lot of my shows. She came to that one because, you know, the health rate and all. And then that particular Black person, Terry Thomas, is what we call him now. Back then, he was still just Terry T. I think the first thing I remember him ever saying on stage, something about making a baby with Eunice that night.
All right.
God damn, me too.
Oh, in my defense, that was my first time ever on stage. And the first rule they tell you is like, if you ever want to get on stage, just drink as much as possible before you get on stage.
Okay, that's bad advice. Horrible advice.
And that was Terry T back then. That was Terry T.
So your mom was at the show?
My mama was at that show.
My mom was at the show.
Right. Speaking of moms, Terry, how's your mom doing?
She probably watching, so go ahead and shoot your shot if you want to take your shot.
Hey, baby, how you been doing?
All right,
I'm calling check on you. But y'all that don't know, Terry T's mama is beautiful. she fine.
I guess the rest of us got mama.
Took a left turn.
Huh?
I said the guess the rest of our mamas won't be offended that you ain't trying to holler at them.
I haven't met him. Well, I hang out with Roy mom quite often, but you know, we cool.
At the house when I'm there and I'm present.
Okay.
Right.
And
And
my
Roy
mama watching this.
got
Keep talking.
Whoa.
My mama watch for real.
Okay,
Texting
let
my
me
mama in
find
real
out. No,
time.
Roy, your mama is cool. Your mom is really cool.
Yeah.
My Stardome story.
You know what? Roy mom's the only mom I know. I did a show in Nashville. Zane is Roy. Roy mom comes to you and talk to you like a booker after the show. She tell you what she like, how good you did, and what you need to improve on. She's like, you got presents. You need to keep going there.
Unsolicited though. My mama, you ain't asked her for non-comedy coaching tip.
Well, let me tell you about Roy mama. When I got promoted from traffic reporter to anchor, I got this lovely handwritten note. I didn't know who it was from, but it was complimentary and supportive and excited for my promotion. At the end, it had a name, and in parentheses, it said Roy Wood Jr.'s mama. And I said, now that is a mama for you.
Oh, she wrote Roy. She put her name. She put Roy Wood Jr.'s
No, she
mama.
wrote her name, but in parentheses underneath, she put Roy Wood Jr.'s mama.
She name dropped on a check.
She name dropped on this lovely note, and I've had a chance to meet her since then. But yeah,
I wish more people could be privy to all of the crazy shit that goes on at the comedy club backstage in the green room with the comedians and stuff. Like, I remember one time they're not long stories, but I'll tell you some of the craziest shit I ever seen at Stardome. I saw Mitch Hedberg on stage going off heroin with his eyes closed for 45 minutes and destroy the fucking room. Not once open his eyes, not once move. I saw Pauly Shore walk off stage. How can I put this? He walked off stage, kept the mic, kept performing while he was backstage, and took a shit while he was performing for the audience that was out. 300 people listen to Pauly Shore take a shit backstage. There's a black headliner, and I'm not gonna name him because it's disrespectful on some name, and I don't that ain't my lane. But there was a headliner who had 10 women backstage. And Eunice, I don't know if you ever seen this when like it's a Playboy type black headliner that's working the club, but there's a lot of women that show up to the comedy club who I know don't live in Birmingham. I ain't never seen these women. I don't know where they're from. I'm not saying that they are professional working women, but I am saying that if they thought they coming from out of town to thought in Alabama.
And I appreciate you respecting my poor little virgin eyes for how Playboy comics are. Hello, have we met?
And so we were all backstage chilling, and the comics manager came in the room and said, y'all got to get the fuck out of here. He got to get in his zone. So he shooed us out the room. 10 women walk in the room, and then we see the headliner come through. He look at me and all the other comics. One day, fellas, one day. And went inside and closed the door.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, something to drink.
I got a short list of people who this could possibly be.
Yeah. We'll talk after this. I
have a long list of who I think it could be. Okay, if you don't want to name names on that, who is somebody? Because I just saw somebody else talking about this comic. It's a famous person that does stand up for many, many years, 30 plus years. It's just kind of not that fun to work with. Have you ever had a comic that you enjoy as a comic, but you didn't enjoy working with? You can. Okay,
every comic has been lovely. Every comic. I have no beef with no comics. There's no I'm not
saying bashing them. I'm just saying sometimes it's just a different energy when you meet somebody you really respect and enjoy. And sometimes once you meet them, you're like, maybe I shouldn't have met them.
I know your horror story.
So I want to say, was that 2011, 2012? I was doing a show with another comic. I'm not going to name his name, but we was doing.
Give me the first letter.
we was in Ensley.
Keith.
You close. It starts with an L. But we both went to Ensley and did a show and was opening up for I don't want to name. Can we name the comic? Nah. Because that was.
I ain't trying to tear nobody down, but you know.
Yeah, well,
I'm gonna name mine.
I can say it now.
Don't let this fundraiser fuck up your career. We doing this for the wait staff.
No,
don't you say that name.
Bad. We're not saying nothing bad.
So yeah, he was a big name comedian. A lot of Birmingham people will know about this story because it got kind of big. I mean, y'all even did a story about it on 95.7 the next day. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know the story. What's the story?
So this big name comedian, like I've been looking at this guy since I was a kid, seen animation. He did like really big movies, and he came to Birmingham, and he was doing this show in Ensley. When he showed up, we had maybe like he got there like an hour and a half early, so it was like 10 people in the audience. So he shows up like 6 people in his entourage, and he was like, "Damn!" He was like, "It's more people outside than enough." He said, "This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go back to my hotel room, grab something to eat, and I'll be back in an hour." So we was like, "All right, cool." So me and Unknown Comic, we was like, all right, we just waiting for him. They was like, let's go ahead and start the show. So we each, at this point in time, I've been doing comedy for a year. And I'm trying to fill time I don't even have. Like, I'm stretched. I'm asking people how they doing. The other comic goes up, and we keep emailing and texting the comic, and he never shows up. So being young and dumb comics, we was like this, like, forget him. We're going to start a beef with this guy tomorrow on Twitter. So next day on Twitter, we just blow up his mention. Like, we start shitting on all his movies. We start posting bad pictures of him. And then he finally came back and was like, you know what? Since y'all so tough, meet me outside the Platinum. I'll be waiting for y'all. So
he was there.
He took a picture outside of the Platinum showing us that he was there. So I was like, do we show up? But it never really came of it, but we went back and forth.
You know he's never forgotten that, right? I've talked to him a couple of times since that incident. He still has not forgotten about that night in Birmingham.
Really?
Wow.
All right.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if you remember your name or your face, but you might still be in an on-site situation with this brother, so you best tiptoe when you see him.
Yeah, I mean, because I did see him, like, I know he's like, I seen him scrub a dude on TMZ. I'm giving this information out now. Like, I seen him beat a guy up. He ain't no small dude, so, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know who the Stardome, man. The Stardome is a beautiful place,
I want to give my, I was very excited to open for this person, and then I was, after the show, they didn't do anything bad or horrible. They're not a horrible person, but I was very nervous to ask them for a picture just based on their energy and their vibe. This is a nice story. It's not bad. Jimmy J.J. Walker.
Oh,
I can believe that.
Okay.
Yeah, it was so exciting to open for, and I mean, it was a great night. And then, like, afterwards, it was just kind of like, would you mind? I mean, and I don't usually get like nervous or whatever, but he's the only person that I can think of that if I saw him, I wouldn't try to start a conversation about anything. I would just be like, that's him from over there.
I saw him. If you got a picture of him, God bless you, because I saw him tell somebody no and never break stride. It was smooth.
Right, that's what I'm saying. He was just, yeah. But yeah, I did get a picture. He's not smiling in it, or maybe he is smiling in it and it doesn't look like a smile.
Right. So this comedian, legend in the game, name starts with an E. That's all I can give you. It's not you.
First name or last name starts with an E?
First name.
Okay.
So Bruce asked me to open for this guy the weekend. 2 shows on two on Friday, 2 on Saturday, 1 on Sunday. I go up, I'm just opening, I'm doing my Birmingham stuff so it doesn't, intrude on him. I'm killing, but the crowd is having a good time. He doesn't do so well. So the second show, he says, well, don't do 15, just do 10. Like, cool. I do 10, I'm still killing. It's just me and him. The next night, I've never had nobody do this ever. He requests to the DJ, he said, don't give Maine any music, just let him go up and do 5. I do 5. I still rip. Now when I realize what's going on, now I'm just like, okay, now I'm just finna rip on purpose. Second show Saturday night, I go up and I'm killing. Now I gotta be called into the office. Hey, another comedian is flying in from such and such tomorrow.
They flew somebody in on you?
Dude, he said
they got flued in.
Bruce said, "Look, we gonna go ahead and pay you for all the night
for the whole week."
About.
All right.
I lost all respect for this dude, man. All respect.
Well,
and I got
listen,
pictures
as
with
an
him.
opener, and we've seen stories about people who started as openers and then got too funny to be an opener. I mean, that's just part of the game to where you kind of manage yourself if you want to stay an opener, right? So you saying you consciously wasn't trying to be his opener no more at some point.
Nah, I mean, that was my first time I looked up to him. From what I knew, he was just stupid funny, you know. So I thought my little local jokes was just gonna be local jokes, but he just wasn't doing that well. It was nothing I could do.
So the Stardome has been around since I think 83, 84.
Yeah, 83.
Bruce showed me some old lineups back in the day where on a 3-show Friday night, Sinbad emceeing, Steve Harvey is the middle act, and Seinfeld headlining. Like, it's been crazy dumb Hall of Famers who come through the club. Who have you witnessed in person? Who have you witnessed rip the hardest?
Oh, hands down, Damon Wayans. I can answer that. I seen Damon Wayans do an hour and a half, like just effortless. Like the dude was so smooth. Something that happened at the Stardome where the ticket machine. So like at the end of the show, a lot of people don't know this. When the headliner's on stage, they like to drop checks. So they'll start dropping checks, but something happened where the computer system went down. So the manager at that point in time was like, "Hey, Terry, do me a favor, stay here at the booth. Don't let Damon Wayans get off stage." He's like, he's looking for a light at 45. Don't give him a light. I didn't have to touch a light. Damon Wayans did an hour and a half effortlessly. Like, it wasn't nothing to him, and crushed the whole hour and a half without even taking a breather.
I'm gonna say somebody who's probably not gonna surprise, but the fact that it was 2006 before he really got to where he was, Kevin Hart, he came through and killed. I mean, destroyed. All I knew him from at the time was Soul Plane. So I was like, yeah, we're gonna go, go up there and see the guy from Soul. And I was there with Steve, so I was hanging out in the green room or whatever. Super cool. Still got pictures and stuff from that night. And man, some heckler tried him, bro. I mean, he destroyed the heckler. Didn't miss a beat in the show. Did like a strong hour. Kept destroying the heckler periodically. The heckler became his callback, and I saw him do it for 3 shows in a row. So I was like, this dude a beast.
Okay, well, I don't want to be so obvious with my answer. I've had a chance to open for Funnymaine and Roy Wood Jr., so it'll be a toss-up between you two guys.
Oh, it's a lie. Get out of here.
Yeah, right.
Get out of here. I'm not even top 20 in the history of the Stardome. I'm not even top 30.
You know, I can't even really think of anybody. I would say Mike Epps always sells out every show, and his crowd loves him, and they just are a very energetic crowd. I would say Sinbad, when he came, he did probably close to 2 hours because he does a lot of crowd work, and it was just cool seeing like your favorite uncle from when you were growing up just come and hang out. So I don't know. I really don't know who I would say.
I saw Bruce, and this is like, for the people who don't know much about comedy, you hit an arrogant phase where when you become a middle act and you perform before the headliner, you think you should be headline. I'm good. I got all these jokes. I walked out and I hit Birmingham with 25 minutes. And it was the opposite Funnymaine, where like when you MC, you can play around a little bit with the local shit. But I was like, I'm a rip, and I ain't gonna make a single local reference. It's gonna be all real material about shit in the world, blah, blah, blah. Fired that stage. Bruce walked out, and within 10 minutes, it was like I never existed. Motherfuckers didn't even, like, after the show, where you standing out front after the show to shake hands, try and get a girl phone number, people looking at me like, oh yeah, wasn't you up there? Like, they had forgotten about me. He was so funny, he made niggas forget about anything that happened before he got to the stage. It's still
strong.
Bruce has the strongest, like, just in the technical execution of just coming out on stage and just to just set the tone off the rip. Him and Lavelle Crawford, man, them niggas used to hustle. There's some people don't know about Bruce and Lavelle. They used to come to Birmingham 2 days early to go around to all the barbershops and just joan on niggas, which was their form of passing out flyers. Then they would go to Century Plaza and just walk around all the city gear and all that shit and just cracking on niggas in the food court for 2 hours And that's how they used to build word of mouth, and that's how they became
Wow.
beasts.
Let me ask y'all this. Who is a comedian that you can watch live every time? Like you can sit down and watch their entire set, no matter how many
Cat
times.
Williams.
Cat?
You know what? A lot of people might not know who this is, or a lot of people do. Jeremiah Williamson Jr.
You stole my answer.
That was your answer. JJ.
I can watch JJ every time.
Like, seriously, JJ, when I lived in Atlanta, I opened a weekend at Uptown Comedy Club with JJ, and I would sit out there and watch every single show every single night, and he would even say the exact same thing, and it would be just as funny, like it was the first time you heard it. He would like say, "Oh yeah, that's nice, y'all. Let me know when y'all get this place fixed up," and he would say it so casually, but every show, every time, and it felt like the first time he said it.
We just did Dothan together in February. I literally took a seat and watched the whole thing. And I've seen JJ perform for like 15 years. I could watch him every single time. No questions asked.
He's one of the few comics that like actually enjoys. Like I know we enjoy it, and you know sometimes we get through a show, you're like, oh, I just gotta pull myself together. I've never seen a show with JJ like this. Well, shit, let's go do this. Like he's excited about comedy every single time, and it's rare to see comics that get excited about hitting that stage. Like it's like they just.
We didn't even talk about that. We all said the same person. Okay, we're gonna start wrapping this up. Don't forget you can donate. That's the whole point of this, is to support our friends at the Stardome, all of our homes, where we've had some great times there. I want to ask you how long you've been doing comedy, and I want to ask you if you remember the first thing you ever said on stage. We already got Terry T's answer. Do you remember the first joke you ever told? And tell me, how long have you been doing stand-up?
Oh, you, Roy?
I've been doing it since 98. So what's the math on that? 21, 22 years. Mm-hmm. I don't remember the exact joke, but I remember two jokes. One of them was why on the weather map, why did we decide that purple is colder than white? When I see snow outside, it's not purple, it's white. Every time I look at Minnesota, it's purple. Maybe that's because of Prince. And look, I hear the crickets right now, but that shit used to kill back in 98.
No, I get it. I saw what you did there.
And then I would go, ooh. And then I had a joke about how if my daddy was so cheap that if I got thirsty at Six Flags, he'd make us get on a water ride with our mouth open. Like that was. I got a clip of it, but I don't even want to play it because the shit from so long ago. That don't even.
You still got a clip? Oh, please air the clip. Please air this clip.
Oh man, this from
Roy
like
Wood Jr.'s.
This from like 02.
Roy, what did you wear on stage? Because you used to tell me
I used to wear suits. I used to perform in suits because I was I was skinny as shit, and you gotta remember, I started when I was 19 and I was skinny. I looked 16, so nobody believed me. You performing for grown folks, you had to wear a suit so they shut the fuck up and respect you. Comedy club and start these little amusement parks, more than $2 for a can of Coke, man. Y'all been to Disney World lately? Y'all know Disney World went up to $4 a sip on the lemonade, right? Right, $4 for a sip. Sip, that's all, $4. That was $12 right there. That's ridiculous, man. And see, my parents was cheap. I went to the amusement park with my daddy. If I got thirsty at Disney World, I better get on the water ride with my mouth open. That's the only way. Pops me at the exit waiting on you till y'all still thirsty? Get back in line. Hey, boy, sit up front. That's where the clean water comes. Come up front.
Yo, man, that was a good set, man. I just got one question. How high is that first button on your jacket? That button was up there pretty damn high.
That was a FUBU suit. That was when that first button would be in your sternum.
That's when the Steve Harvey collection came out. You look good. I would be very proud of that. I mean, yeah, the audience was dying laughing.
What club was that? What was that at?
That was the Miami Improv. That was a Comedy Central contest from like 01 or 02.
At some point, Roy, we need a side by side of you on that video and your kid. We need a side by side.
Anybody else remember their first joke or how long?
My first joke, my first joke, well, my first show, Thursday, August 25th, 2005, UAB in the Hill Center, RIP the old Hill Center. I come out drunk.
I'm seeing a theme here.
Yeah, I was about to get into setting up my first joke, and then the lights blinked or something. And so I started talking about the lights. And I remember I was cursing like crazy because I was like drunk.
Of course, nervous cursing. Yeah.
And then I went into a joke. My first joke was that I got pulled over by a gay police officer. And he's always talking about how he had pink and green lights on top of the car. I think his siren was something like, oot, oot. And then he pulled me out and frisked me. And I remember he frisked me for like 45 minutes, something like that. But that was my first one. It was
and those are the type of jokes you could get away with back in them days. That was the type of
05
was different times.
Yeah, can't even try that shit now.
I remember when I was deciding to do stand-up, I would just go to different open mics. I never got on stage. I just was trying to research the situation. And by the time I got invited to do a show, I told the guy I was a stand-up. He said, "Oh, I got a show next week. Come do some time." I didn't even know what that meant when he said, "Come do some time." I show up that night. I didn't tell anybody. It was me and like 4 of the guys on the lineup. He said, "I'm going to put you up first. Plenty of time. Do your thing." And I said, "Well, how long should I be on stage?" He said, "Plenty of time. Do your thing. Just take your time. Do your thing." I said, "Okay, but I don't know in minutes, like how long." Plenty of time. He just kept going on with plenty of time. Do your thing. I said, "Tell me how many minutes you want me on stage." He said, "Like 3 to 5 minutes." I said, "Cool." So the very first thing I ever said on stage as a stand-up was, "It's hard being a female, a woman around men because we just communicate differently." Like just now I was asking him how long I should be up here. And he said, "Plenty of time for me to do my thing." And I said, "How long?" He said, "More than enough time for you to do your thing." And when I asked for minutes, he said 3 to 5 minutes. And fellas, 3 to 5 minutes really ain't no time. I see all the fellas looking at me like,
nice.
I had planned on saying that, but that was the first thing I ever said on stage. And when people laughed, I was like, okay, I got this, because that just happened and I was able to just share it. So I will always remember. Now, I don't remember what I said after that. I remember that was the first thing I ever said. Outside of being Terry's baby mama. All right. Hopefully you guys had a chance to donate. Venmo, PayPal, Stardome.com. This is all to support our friends and the wait staff. This is the first episode of Comedy Quarantine. We do plan on doing this as long as we can't play together. We'll have different comedians popping in from time to time. So that'd be really cool. Roy Wood Jr., let me just say, I've had the honor and privilege and pleasure of knowing you for a long time and opening for you and just seeing you grow and shine. And it has just been such a tremendous honor to be able to watch a good guy do well.
Well, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for having me.
Hang out with us. And
good to kick it with my Birmingham kinfolk.
Yes, and Funnymaine and Terry T, we've all been growing up in this for a long time, and to see everybody. I mean, Terry made the leap to New York. Funnymaine, white people love you. I mean, what else? And that's the thing. It's cool to be able to do this together, and obviously all for the same cause. So. Thank y'all for hanging out.
And Eunice, congratulations to you on the children's book. Plug the book.
I didn't even mention it once, but since you brought it up.
Oh, she got it right
now. Oh, well, since you mentioned it, I wasn't even going to. But yes, I wrote my first children's book, Sugar Loves Bella. These are my dogs, Sugar and Bella. You can go to sugarlovesbella.com to get one, or Amazon. So we're all branching out and having to get creative in what we're doing, but we all know laughter is the best medicine. They ain't got no medicine for that COVID-19, Funnymaine, so let's just keep them laughing.
Yeah, I'm staying here. I'm isolated from everybody, but yeah, we definitely. I cannot wait to get back on stage, man. It's gonna be a great night for real.
Yeah, we are all looking forward.
I'm gonna let the first wave of you niggas go get on stage.
Yeah,
I'm
gonna wait back. I'm gonna wait back for another month.
Y'all go on here.
Yeah, I'm still letting people try them new expressways in Birmingham, so I feel your pain.
Yeah, they built that freeway too fast.
I'm like, hey, treating us like we the first iPhone to come out. I'm waiting for the second iPhone. With that second half, that first one always blow up.
Well, the first one has all the bugs and it's too expensive. So yeah, you always want to get third generation of anything.
Wait till that second vaccine drop.
Y'all, thank y'all. Everybody, thanks for watching, and we'll see y'all next time on Comedy Quarantine. Thanks, Stardome.
Hey, y'all.
Jose Cook.